Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Siobhan, and you're tuning in to this week's episode of West of the City Reality TV Review. I'm going to be going over all the shows like The Braxton Family Values, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop, and of course, the show that premiered and is new to the bunch, T.I. and Tiny, A Family Hustle. So let's go ahead and start off with The Braxtons. Unfortunately, this week's episode of The Braxtons I did miss. And unfortunately, WeTV.com does not show the full episode, so I was unable to tune in. Please make sure that you guys leave comments to let me know what happened this week. I am yearning inside to know what happened. I mean, the yearning inside. But anyway, besides that, I want to go ahead and just do a late pass on Tamar's performance on the Soul Train Awards. What was she wearing, and did she think that she was Beyonce? Yes, she thought she was Beyonce, and hell, I don't know what she was wearing. I didn't really like the dress. The weave was popping, but it reminded me of Beyonce. And I kind of felt like she sounded like Toni Braxton. Tamar disappointed me deeply in her performance, and I'm beginning to think the reason why she did not have an album come out is not only because of her spank-ass attitude, but because she sounds just like her damn sister. Why do we need two people singing like Toni Braxton, Unbreak My Heart, and You're Getting Me High, and all the other songs that she came out with? We've heard enough of Toni, and we don't need to hear a rerun of that in the form of Tamar with her funky attitude looking like Beyonce. I'll pass. So, next week, of course, is a must DVR. Like I said, I don't really care what goes on in the show. I love the Braxtons, and it's a must watch, a must see. And hell, I may end up missing next week's episode if the power goes out again. So please make sure that you guys DVR the Braxtons. So this week on Real Housewives of Atlanta, there was just so much going on, so much to clown about, so much to talk about. So let me just skim through my notes and pick the 3 top things that I'm going to talk about for this week, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Number 1, I must talk about Bob Whitfield. I must talk about Kandi and her mama's conversation about the infamous ridiculous yet again. And lastly, I'm just going to talk about that fashion show, what a performance Cynthia gave, or what a not performance she gave, and Lawrence's sequential shirt that he decided to wear to the affair. So let's go ahead and talk about Bob Whitfield. Bob Whitfield is not only one of the most unattractive men I have ever seen in my entire life, but he is also a deadbeat dad, and he thinks that that shit is funny. I don't give a damn if he was as attractive as hell, Tyson Beckford. For you not to be taking care of your kids just because you and your wife got a divorce is just blasphemy, and I just can't even deal with it. So let's go ahead and just shoot on him like how Sheree should have done. How was it that your face is that damp after you kicked the ball about 2 times and ran around in the circle once? Maybe it's because you've become so enormous that you look like a hippopotamus. Number 2, why is your eye still playing that Rooster Morning song of Cocky Doodle-Doo? Can you see in 3D while your eye is switching around looking this way and that way and the other one is fixed on Sheree? I was thinking to myself, like, can he see Sheree in 3D? Can he see her past her, on the side of her, and behind her all simultaneously with that wandering ass eye that he got? Then I was thinking to myself, look at that hair and just look at your skin in general. You look absolutely terrible. You look worn down. And the reason why you probably look that way is because you are a deadbeat father who does not take care of his kids because you don't like their mama. Now, I can't only shoot on Bob. I've got to shoot on Sheree. How did she let him breathe in her face, let alone make 2 damn kids with him? I am so disappointed in Sheree. I do not think Sheree is ugly. I do not share y'all's opinion that she looks like a man or whatever else. I think Sheree is cute. However, she did lose her who gon' check me boo crown with me after I really got a good look at him. And I was thinking to myself, like, Sheree, That was a real bad decision. A real bad, bad, bad decision. Let's go ahead and talk about Kandi and her mother and this conversation that just keeps on being played over and over again about the infamous Ridiculous. I mean, how many conversations should she have to have with her mother for her mother to figure out she didn't invite Ridiculous and that it was a surprise? Why didn't her mama get up and leave as soon as she seen him come out with his moist chest? I mean, it wasn't like he jumped out of the box and within T-minus 20 seconds, he was doing all this dancing and playing jump rope with his thing and stirring up Kandi's drink and then gave himself a blowjob. I mean, that took time. It was like a 5-minute a series of events that transpired. So Kandi's mama, I have a question for you. Why didn't you, the respectable mother that you keep saying that you are, why didn't you get up and walk yourself out? I ran the tape back a few times and I did not see an armored guard standing anywhere around you or Kandi holding you at gunpoint, making you watch the infamous Ridiculous. I think that you liked watching him, but you were upset because you got caught on video doing it. I'm going to need you to move on because I'm over it and so is everybody else. Boom. Cynthia is a model. She's a wife, a very supportive wife who will drop cream on her husband at any moment's notice. $40,000, $100,000, however much he needs, she will give it to him. She is a successful model and giver. But one thing that she is not is a successful fashion show announcer or public speaker. And we found that out in this week's episode. Cynthia was mispronouncing words, and I wrote them all down because I was thinking to myself, like, okay, let me say these words just off of the top of the dome and see if I can't pronounce them, like if I don't have a reading capability. So let's just go ahead and say them. Manifestation. Tenaciously. I didn't have a problem saying either one of those words. Cynthia, either you can't read or you can't announce. But either way it go, you never need to stand behind a podium at a fashion show or hell, even at your agency and do any kind of public speaking because you are going to make yourself look like you are a dumb blonde and we know that you're not. When Lawrence walked up, I was kind of concerned because now I'm beginning to feel like the fashion forward it's not going forward. He's not making any strides in dressing up like a woman but still looking like a man. He's beginning to make some very, very poor fashion decisions even if he were a woman. That sequential cheetah shirt that he had on, I was not feeling. The chain earrings that gathered down here and it was kind of like hanging like if it was a necklace and earring, I wasn't feeling that either. And the red lipstick, I wasn't really feeling at all. And I don't really know what Lawrence is trying to prove. I don't know who checks him in the mirror and says, yes, you're on, that's it, go, 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 boom, boom, boom. But whoever it is, you're wrong, and you need to go jump off of a cliff for pumping Lawrence up and making him think that that shit is okay because it's not. Period. So that pretty much sums up this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I just want to leave you with one thought. Is Mallory Vera Viracosa the black version? When she opened up her mouth and started talking, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, wait a minute, that voice does not match that body or that face. Then I started to look at her body and I'm like, okay, the shoulders are kind of wide. What is going on here? Let me look at your throat and check and see if you got anything bulging from the outside. So every time that they showed Mallory sitting next to Charles or standing next to him, I was kind of looking at her like, okay, where is the Adam's apple? Because that voice just do not match nothing else that you have going on. Like, she shocked me. I was kind of taken back. And then I thought to myself, like, oh, well, you know, Charles is kind of a monster and he probably got to take what he can get, especially if he is going out on dates with Nene, regardless of who initiated the date. I mean, if Shabba Ranks called me and asked me to go out on a date with him, the answer is going to be no. Whether if he was going to treat me to the finest thing, send the Maybach out to come and get me, I'm going to tell Shabba, Mr. Loverman, no thank you, because I don't really find you attractive and I'm not that hungry. But of course, Men are a little different than us, and as long as you have a vagina that's working, the chances of you getting not on a date with them or whatever, even if you missing teeth, you probably will be able to go. Sadate. I mean, that's all I can really say. Okay, I just gotta start off on Kimbella. I'm sorry, I can't even talk about Jim Jones's mama or none of that other stuff that was happening because I was really trying to find it inside me to understand how she felt like she could confront Emily about what Emily said about her during the toast at her party. Like, how did she think that she had the balls to do that? Like, how do you go from toasting at my party in front of my friends and letting me know that you screwed my dude to when I toast at your party in front of my friends, not yours, that you had the most black men inside you, which is probably true, including mine. And then they move on to her one-on-one and she says, you don't even know me. I mean, all you know is that I slept with your man and that I slept with the person that I'm with right now. Really, Kimbella? You want us to think that you were a virgin prior to Fabulous and that after him you only slept with Jewels? Girl, please. I'm pretty sure that that twat has enough miles on it for you to have gotten a free airline ticket or something like that if United Airlines was racking up those coochie miles. Girl, please sit down somewhere and stop playing with everybody. We are really tired of it and you're really starting to get on my nerves. Period. Yandy, oh my goodness, I actually enjoyed her this week. Like, I actually got to look at her face, look at her speak like a young lady or a businesswoman, and talk about something that was real. And I was like, wow, I think I may actually like Yandy this episode. I'm pretty sure next week she will piss me off again. So it ain't really no telling. My relationship with her at this point is just basically one show I can't stand her, or 2 shows I can't stand her, and then all of a sudden the next show I can begin to stand her. Olivia got a reality check 2 times. Twice. Actually 3 times. First it was from her manager, letting her know, like, okay, are you sure you want to go independent? Because what that would mean is that you basically are going to be paying for everything. And he was basically letting us know that Olivia don't have no guap. Like, she don't have no money. She's not on this different level than Samaya. Hell, Samaya got an investor to give her $500,000. You feel me? So, I mean, her independent little thing that she got going clearly is moving more successfully along than Olivia. Then we have the record exec, PR guy that came in. I believe that his name was Wayne Johnson or Wayne Rogers. I don't really know. But anyway, he checked her and let her know, okay, here are the numbers. December was not a hit. It's nothing to write home to mama about, honey. And you can stop trying to fly on the wings of December because that shit crashed and landed, period. Then even Yandy kind of like low-key told her, like, Olivia, nobody really knows you as an artist, and you know that's something that you're gonna have to work on if you're trying to build a fan base and actually become this mega celebrity that you kind of think you already are. So this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop confirmed 2 things for me, and I learned 1 new thing. It confirmed for me that Kimbella is somehow lost in the sauce. Like, her brain just does not gather up all the information and add it all up together. She seems to think that her behavior is appropriate and that it's okay when it's not. And number 2, people are telling Olivia that she's not on this different level than Samaya. So this is all something that she has come up with on her own and gassed her own self up, pumped her own self up to think that she on this Beyonce kind of level, which she's not. The one thing that I learned is that Yandy can be cool. I don't really want to talk about Jim Jones's mama just because I really wouldn't want nobody talking about my mama. I mean, y'all kind of know how I feel about the whole situation, her voice, the booty shorts, the t-shirts, the name spelling wrong, naming Psycho wrong. I mean, everything that she did this week just kind of proved my opinion of her from prior. And you know, it was really nothing else going on with nobody else. I mean, that was pretty much like the gist of the show. So, I mean, it was what it was. I enjoyed the show, of course, just because I just kind of like watching it. Chrissy is one of my favorites, as you guys know. And so that pretty much just sums up this week's episode. Make sure that you guys DVR Love and Hip Hop for next week. And then let's go ahead.
Coolest nigga what? The coolest nigga what? The coolest nigga what? The coolest nigga what? The coolest nigga what?
And talk about the new show that just deserves a round of applause and 1,000 smiles and happy faces, and that is T.I. and Tiny's Family Freaking Hustle. So this week on the premiere, of course, we got to see back-to-back episodes of the show. The first show was hilarious. We got to see why T.I. went back to jail for them 28 days for getting on that tour bus and all that other kind of stuff. So a few questions were answered. Now, here's the one thing that I wanted to address, because I didn't really take any notes. I just kind of wanted to watch the show and just, you know, take it all in, because I don't really know nothing about T.I. or Tiny other than the fact that he's a rapper and she used to be a singer in XK. So here's what I was reading on my timeline on Twitter. Everybody was hating super tough on Tiny, aka Tamika Harris, talking about how she ugly and she this and she that. Honey, Tamika is married. Okay, she got the same last name as her husband. She came home and like she said, the nigga was dressed up like a sexy chef. Then when she went up into the bedroom, the nigga had played Santa Claus prior to her arriving home, had boxes up on boxes up on boxes of designer clothes, shoes, jewelry, and hell, who knows what else. I don't give a damn what Tamika looked like, but whatever she doing and whatever she got going, T.I. loves her, treats her like it's nobody's business. And I'm beginning to think that all of you broads are just hating because y'all don't have nobody special, and if you do, the nigga ain't treating you right, but that's on you. That don't have nothing to do with Tamika. So let's go ahead and just go on into the show and talk about what happened on the hour-long season premiere, because it was 2 back-to-back shows, so it was about an hour. T.I. is hilarious. I had no idea. The nigga is a good father. The kids are all cute, and they all seem to be very, very intelligent. Even the little baby that was 3 years old. T.I. has a white room that can't nobody go into, and if they go in there, I'm sure they're likely to get a whooping. He is so country. That mess was so funny to me. Tiny and her homegirls, they're all refreshingly country. T.I.'s mama is crazy. She was saying prayers over the liquor, talking about how Jesus turned the water into wine. I mean, how funny is that? T.I. and Tiny's relationship is just so cute to the point where you just want to squeeze both of their cheeks and be like, oh, you guys are so cute. You guys are married. I can't stand you. That's why all the bros are hating on you, Tamika. And it just kind of just made me feel like this is a show that I want to watch. Like, this is a show that I guarantee I will not miss. Of course, VH1 plays the entire episode on the website, unlike WeTV. So if I miss it, I can watch it. And it just seems like it's going to show so much more of a successful black family where the husband is the sole breadwinner and takes care of the family, helps with raising the kids. Of course, they may be a little ghetto. He has been to jail a couple of times and things of that nature. However, he does seem to genuinely love his family. They're very close, and I cannot wait to watch more, to find out more about these damn kids, this damn booty tag, and the one little boy telling him to get naked, repeating everything that Tiny was saying. That mess was funny. I want to see how much more lavish gifts Tamika's gonna get from T.I. since she been holding the house down and holding him down for 10 plus years. I'm trying to bask in all of the ghetto-ness, the excitement, the funniness, because I mean, after all, isn't that what watching a reality TV show is about? Finding out who these people really are. Yes, some of it may be scripted. Hell, all of it is. I didn't watch Kim and Courtney Take New York. I just couldn't make myself do it, and nobody came over to my house with a gun to make me watch it, so of course I didn't. So that sums up this week's episode of West of the City Reality TV Review. Make sure that you guys leave comments, and please make sure that you fill me in on what happens this week's episode for the Braxton Family Values. I want to go ahead and give a couple of shout outs to my Facebook family. My dearest sister, Brandy Fletcher. Thank you so much for always tuning in and sharing my video on your page. Mary, thank you so much for always leaving comments, tuning in, sharing my video. I love you guys. Thanks to Terrence Jackson and T-Hawk. Thank you guys. Terrence Hawkins. I got two very good friends that are both named Terrence. Thank you guys so much for always tuning in. And anybody else that I may have forgotten, please remember that I love you guys much. Thanks for leaving comments. Thanks for always watching. Make sure that you tune in to all of the shows this week, because of course we'll be back here again next week talking about it all over again. And as usual, make sure that you stay busy and stay watching TV. Till next week, peace.